Special report, the White House in deep. Here's senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
And so here we are, the day of reckoning, August 17th, 1998. In 1974, just 8 days earlier, I, too, backed into a corner, was forced to tender my resignation. What awaits President Clinton? Who better to offer insight and assessment than one who has been there? And I thank you, Imus, in the morning, for extending to me this opportunity.
Fine.
Well, this is it. It all comes down to the next several hours. And as I reflect, I find myself quite unnerved, really. I fear we're opening Pandora's box. And, bad selection of phrases, given the context, and let me apologize.
Sure.
Indeed, if anybody's box is in play here, it is not Pandora's. Unless, of course, there is yet another Clinton consort about whom we haven't heard, which is always a possibility. Anyway, looking back across this whole saga, I can't help but wonder how we've reached this regrettable point. The President of the United States scrambling for his very life, having to testify today in a tortured interpretation of law that, yes, he received a little Monica Molar lube now and again, but didn't return the favor, to be as polite as I can,
Sure.
drawing a line in the sand at 68 or 70, but not at that, shall we say, perjury point in between. Therefore, applying the strictest, most narrowly defined definition of sexual relations ever concocted, when he said he hadn't actually done the nasty with the rope line firecracker, he can say he wasn't lying through his own big fat teeth. At the end of the day, then, his presidency is preserved, but he is over. Now, how could this have been avoided? Well, here's where James Carville and Begala and Bob Bennett and all the rest missed the mark. They didn't look at and learn from the Nixon paradigm. Mr. Clinton should not only have borrowed a page from my
Watergate.
I know what it was, numbnuts. Anyway, he not only should have borrowed a page from that, he should have updated it. Remember the infamous Saturday Night Massacre when I freaked out and fired half of Washington, D.C.?
Sure.
Every bastard I could think of who was after me? Well, that is what we should be discussing today. Bill Clinton's Sunday Night Massacre.
That he should have fired the independent counsel.
No, he should have killed the independent counsel. And everybody else, gone right down the list and actually killed them. Starr, Dan Burton, Orrin Hatch, Laura Ingraham, Britt Hume, Paul Gigot, Stuart Taylor, all of my dude. That was my mistake, you know. Not burning the tapes and not actually murdering people. You know, with that instrument of destruction that dangles between Bubba's thighs, he's already turned us into a banana republic. Might as well go all the way. Ouch. Strong words, I dude. But savvy advice in the Dick Scope this grave day. From Dick Nixon, nearly impeached when he was the President of the United States.
This is the 36th.
Could have started to come unraveled back there in Hope, Arkansas, couldn't it?
Yeah,
Could have been a situation here all day right
Got
now.
that
Just-
right.
And a little piece of twine came loose, and the whole thing just blew up on them, and that's the way it is. Good God.
I want you to listen. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Tell your mama, tell your pa, gonna say my no, no. Mama, they don't do right. I miss in the morning.
So you're telling me he's going to change that story?
I don't know.
I don't know how he does that.
I don't either.
We've been hearing a lot these days about kids under 10 committing violent crimes. Today's New York Times describes another side of those stories, the problems lawyers face when they defend these kids. They range from dealing with parents who object to their tactics to youngsters who don't understand what the hell they're talking about, or even in charges against them. Pick up today's New York Times.
Nexo Communications Fan Highway Patrol.
Bernie's on the cell phone, and where are you now, Bernard?
Well, I'm just coming out of the porta potty. 1 second, I'm at.
Shut up.
Right outside the white trash house, Imus.
What do you
Witnessing-
think about staying down there? Maybe would there be any reason for you to stay down there and then report tomorrow, or
And
just reaction?
I think that's an excellent idea, man. We can get reaction from people as to whether or not they think the president told the truth, or whether or not he's wearing a steel jockstrap from now on when he sleeps with that witch.
Maybe we could, in fact, get some more interesting people today, huh?
Yeah, well, we were in an awful spot here. It was
Yeah.
raining and there was no people, so I was stuck with 11-year-old Greek girls and Eleanor Cliff.
Well, Eleanor, did Eleanor Cliff have any idea who she was talking to or what this was?
She did, yes.
Oh,
She actually was apprehensive before she came on, but we gave her some donuts and she just agreed to hang around.
All right. Well, stay there, and then we'll hope for a better one. It was good. It was good, Bernie. So.
Well, I'm going to be checking out the cannon up by Fort Marcy Park to see if our president goes up there and does the right thing.
Oh, shut up. Jesus, God, get off just get off the phone. It's 25 FDR, Bernard McGurk in Washington, D.C., where he will stay overnight, and we'll cover this thing tomorrow. So, and one would hope, but I don't know.
Well, maybe it won't be raining.
Maybe it won't.
Bigger crowds.
Bigger crowds.
Oh, yeah.
More to talk about.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Well, no,
Well, I still...
What goes down?
I'm on record. He's going to...
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's so emphatic particularly when you listen to that cut.
Ridiculous.
Thanks, but no thanks, baby. I've already got more trouble than I need. Thanks, but no thanks, baby. I've already got more trouble than I need. I don't want no lonely, lustful woman's irate husband after me.
Okay. Here now, occasional Imus Morning contributor Laura Ingram. Good morning, Miss Ingram.
I just woke up, and the television goes on, and I see this picture on the screen, and it's you and Wyatt. And I'm like, how did Wyatt crawl into Lenin's tomb?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
So the fruit and toast cost $7.56?
That is true, per the receipt.
Claire Shipman is the White House correspondent for NBC News and is patiently standing by while we haggle over my change for the fruit here.
You guys are making me hungry.
Well, how are you this morning, Miss Shipman?
I'm fine, but I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I want some of that fruit.
Yeah, I think we have some fruit. Charles has a banana for you. No.
What in God's name happens to you at moments like that?
I don't know.
What happened?
I mean,
Charles has a banana for you. That's very mature.
Not good.
No.
Bad.
Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
You want to know the best thing about going to...
Fan Highway Patrol.
And now, Imus in the Morning 2020 Sports. Here's Mark Breen.
I just hope it sinks in one of these days that, I'm a major winner. So, but I'm just going to go ahead and do what I've been doing for the rest of my golfing career.
Vijay Singh, winner of the 98 PGA Championship. Good morning, Mike Breen with sports. Singh, 35 years old, from the island of Fiji, a place where there's only 10 golf courses total. He wins by 2 strokes. He was aided by Steve Stricker, the man who finished second. Stricker admitted to going a little crazy out on the course.
It's hard not to let those thoughts creep into your mind, even though every time they did, I'm telling them to go away.
There's Stricker yelling, "Go away!" As he walks up the 16th fairway. Many in the gallery thought there was something wrong. Stricker, though, faded down the stretch with a key bogey on the 17th hole.
Did he bogey the 17th?
Yeah.
Not good. Can't choke under those conditions, can you, baby?
No, sir.
No.
Singh, meanwhile, every time somebody hit a big shot, he hit a better shot.
And the lily white announcers on CBS all ominously predicting how Vijay was going to fall apart. And guess what?
Well, yeah.
He won by 2 strokes.
There you go. History can be made next week if Jeff Gordon wins another race. The great Gordon won his 4th straight NASCAR event yesterday, taking the Pepsi 400. Gordon took the lead with 9 laps to go. He talked about passing Mark Martin.
I just stayed right behind him, and I don't know if I touched him, but I was about a half an inch off of his rear, and, I think it actually got him a little bit loose, and I was able to get underneath him.
Rather central time of the race, Mr. Gordon.
Fine.
No one has ever won 5 in a row. Gordon can do that next week if he takes the Incest 500 in Memphis, Tennessee.
You really are just an idiot.
From the NFL, preseason games.
The Incest 500.
That's coming up on Saturday.
Okay.
Preseason games mean nothing. Jets 33-0 loss to the Ravens on Saturday means nothing. But a reporter asked Bill Parcells after the loss if he was concerned.
Don't ask questions like that. I just told you we got outplayed in every phase of the game. I can't cite anybody that performed, so yes, I'm concerned about it. Don't ask questions like that. When the answer is obvious.
But they'll try and bounce back this week.
Well,
you're going to say, go ahead.
I think it's a legitimate question. It could have been, because it's a preseason game, depending on, maybe the reporter should have known better, but depending on who he played, and how many people they looked at and all that sort of thing.
Sure, you want to know how much stock he puts in a performance like that, even though it's preseason.
Yeah, I thought it was a legitimate question.
If he's concerned.
I mean,
how concerned is he?
Right, he's a fat baby, has an attitude, and it's preseason. Well, they better beat the Giants Thursday.
We'll see. First, they had seniors golf, now seniors tennis. Big tournament in Purchase, New York this weekend. John McEnroe won. He beat John Lloyd in the finals, 6-1, 6-2. Lloyd was not even expected to make the finals. Bjorn Borg and Jimmy Connors, two others in the tournament, they were favored, but they both had to default from the semifinals. Connors with a foot injury. Borg had foot blisters. As the seniors, these guys can't even make it through the tournament. They do have different rule changes. There's 25 minutes between changeovers, and you're allowed 6 serves before you actually fault.
Connors doesn't look any different to me than he did 20 years ago.
Honest to goodness.
Does he? He looks exactly.
Amazing.
He doesn't even look any older.
Yeah.
There was a tape of a match, or there was a live match on the other day, and I'm trying to think, is this one of those old U.S. Open matches that they're replaying 20 years later?
I mean, his hair's the same, his face is the same. His body is exactly the same.
Yeah, yeah.
From a Jimmy Connors. I mean, he just... McEnroe doesn't look all that different, does he?
A little gray here and there.
John Lloyd looks like... well, he looks a little bit like Sid Davidoff, or no, who's somebody else here, somebody you'd know. He looks like, I don't know, the hockey guy, J.D.
John Davidson.
Yeah. John Lloyd. And they just take turns and whooping up on J.D. Well, if the president speaks to us tonight, don't expect this.
Everything that I will attempt to say to you this morning will be for me anymore.
God may forgive you, but I won't. Yes, Jesus loves you, but I don't. They don't have to live with you, neither do I. You say that you're born again, well, so am I. God may forgive you, but I won't even try. Imus in the morning.
At Lincoln, it's our best year.
And everybody got a BJ from a 21-year-old intern, then has to go away on vacation the next day with his wife and daughter. Boy, he really knows how to relax, huh?
Well.
Hey, Bobby, you just made history admitting a sexual affair on national television. What are you going to do now? I'm going to Disney World. Man, you think it was tense yesterday in the map room. Just wait till he and Hill go to take that walk on the beach for the cameras up at the vineyard. What I wouldn't give for a shotgun boom microphone for that one. Beautiful day, isn't it, Hillary? Is that the kind of things you said to your little whore? Whole thing makes me sick, I tell you. And that's something coming from a guy who spanks lesbians. Hey, let me ask you something, Imus. He said something about the legal definition of the situation.
Yeah.
How many different definitions are there for a Hummer? He gave her a T-shirt, she gave him a BJ, and a story. I tell you what, I saw Orrin Hatch give his little hissy fit with Tom Brokaw right after the speech.
Yeah.
You know, considering he's supposed to be so outraged by the president's behavior, in light of the situation, I wouldn't be using phrases like, I'm about to blow my stack.
Howard Stern here on the Imus in the Morning program. We're all looking forward, of course, to Howard's debut program, which I believe is Saturday night on CBS.
All right.
At 11:30, and so I want you all to watch it, buy the products, and write it down in your little Nielsen thing or whatever it is you get. I am Imus in the Morning. This is WFAN in New York. It's time for the news. News is sponsored by DLJ Direct, and here with it is my friend Charles McCord. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, I-Man. Some of the local reactions.
1, 2, 3. Imus in the morning.
If you suffer from ear discomfort... Am I on the air here?
Yes.
Huh?
Yep.
Okay. How long have I supposed to be on the air?
Oh, about 5 seconds.
How come I can't hear you when you're talking to me?
Screaming, I don't know.
Top before the water
Screaming at you.
It's not coming through anything.
Now you're getting feedback.
Are you screaming in my headphones?
Everything, yeah.
Screamed everywhere.
You screamed everywhere.
Oh.
Try it again. Turn all the microphones off and try it. I can hear that. Why couldn't I hear it before?
Turned it down, probably.
Is Bernie ready now?
No.
Huh?
No.
Okay.
What?
Huh? Michael Beschloss, where's he? Is he ready? We'll get him in a minute. Couple minutes.
5, 6 minutes.
Oh, okay. 5, 6 minutes. The presidential historian, Michael Beschloss. Well, you know, we just got to move on. I mean, the guy is not going to apologize.
Nothing's going to change.
It was disgraceful, what he did last night. It was just disgraceful. But he's not going to do any different. I mean, it's just not going to get any more out of him. He's incapable. He has no guts. He's incapable of doing it.
After school. I think it's important to point out that the hours between 3 and 7 at night are the most vulnerable hours for young people to get in trouble. There is this sort of assumption that everybody that gets in trouble when they're young has just already been abandoned. That's not true. Most of the kids that get in trouble after school closes and before their parents get home from work.
Tell your mama, tell your pa, gonna say my dog is so no. Mama, she don't do right. I'm in the morning.
Next up.
I guess Chip got his blow dryer working because here he is. How you doing, Chip?
I don't own one, I swear it.
And is that a wig?
I put my head out the window of the car when I'm driving to work. So this is a wig, actually. I get mine the same place Sam Donaldson got his.
Do you think Dick Morris is going to show up today?
I hope so. As you said, a lot of open-toed sandals around here, so that's the first sign. That
I think I was
maybe a foot.
Something maybe a foot. Very good.
Yeah.
So what do you think he's going to say today?
I don't have a clue. We stand out here and read tea leaves. I wouldn't be surprised if the president had mentioned him as one of the people who he talked to throughout all this, and Ken Starr said, well, geez, let's get that guy in here. You know, they seem to go down every conceivable path they can, and this is just one more.
Has there ever been any indication, Chip, that Dick knew about this affair with Monica Lewinsky?
You know, I'm not sure. I don't always read his columns. And wait, let me get this little thing off the microphone here. It's bothering me. But I don't know.
Clarence found this thing.
It'd be great if you'd pay attention to the story, Chip, instead of worrying about how you look. Jesus Christ.
I'm a shallow guy. I can't help it. But I don't know. I don't know what Dick Morris's take is on all this. I just don't know. You know.
Well, looks for somebody to be let in there on a dog collar, I guess, and we just lost our feed. So
that's right.
This is WFAN in New York. It's time for the news. And for that is Chuck McCord.
Morning, man. Morning. Organizers
it's distressing when Chip's funnier than Bernie, isn't it? And our Chip Reed, our Edward R. Murrow,
right.
Our Brian Williams, our Tom Brokaw, Bernard McGurk. Bernard?
Yes, sir, I man.
What's up?
We have more reaction from the distinguished citizens of Washington, D.C. What's your name, sir?
Victor Mendoza.
Victor, did you see the president's speech last night?
Partially.
And what did you think?
I believe that
what part did you see? It was 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Matter has been magnified, and I believe there is a personal matter. I think it has to be more with privacy. But
that's a good point Imus made, though. What part did you see? Because it was only 4 minutes. Did you get up to go get a cerveza or something?
What I mean is that it is, things that has to be judged later. We have maybe not all the elements to judge him.
What happened?
What I mean is...
Do you think the fact that Henry Cisneros he had to get out of office because of his indiscretion, do you think it's unfair to Hispanic Americans?
I think it has to be with other things,
Who's going to break the home run record, Sammy Sosa or Mark McGwire?
I don't know.
Who are you rooting for, baby? Come on.
I'm not sure about it.
Thanks a lot, sir. We have another gentleman here. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. What's your name, young...
Lamar Smith.
Lamar, how you doing? Did you see the president's speech last night?
I didn't see it last night, but I heard about it this morning.
And what were you doing last night that you couldn't watch the speech that everybody else in the country was watching?
I was doing wedding stuff.
You were drunk, right?
Yeah, we're planning for a wedding, so I was in the midst of getting things together for that.
So you're not gay?
No.
What did you think of, do you think the president sufficiently apologized?
Yeah, but I think he needs help.
Do you think he should resign? No. Why? Do you know what's in Ken Starr's report? How can you make that judgment?
I think Ken Starr is making more out of it than he needs to be. The president's doing a good job, and he made a mistake, and he admitted to it, and now he should move on.
Who do you have more respect for, President Clinton or O.J. Simpson?
Ha, ha, ha. President Clinton.
Oh, really? So you're going to go out on a limb this morning?
Yeah.
Bernard, thank you very much. It's 16 after the hour here.
It was always so easy to find an unhappy woman till I started
suffer from ear discomfort when you fly, there is a unique product of virtual.
Closed-circuit cameras are operational, so we may begin the proceedings. Now, I remind you, sir, that you are still under oath. Are you acquainted with a young woman by the name of Monica Lewinsky?
She's a very kinky girl, the kind you don't take home to mother.
So it is your testimony that you do, in fact, know this woman?
Now she's a friend.
Mr. President, did you have a sexual relationship with Ms. Lewinsky?
Who we love, why we love, it's hard to understand.
Well, now, if you both did not have a sexual relationship, why do you suppose Ms. Lewinsky testified that you did?
Bitches are hustlers too. I thought you knew. I thought you knew.
What were the first words that she said to you at your initial meeting?
I know what boys like. I know what guys want.
Did she explain what she meant by that?
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Make you wanna holler, hally-ho.
So it is your testimony, sir, that she initiated sexual conduct. Did she offer you an explanation as to why she wanted to perform this act on you?
I can't get enough of you, baby.
What are you trying to imply here, sir?
Don't eat meat, but sure like the bone.
I see. Did she expect you to reciprocate with a corresponding sexual act?
She said, Billy, keep your head low.
And what was your reaction to that statement?
Who's your daddy? Yes, I am.
Are you aware that we have physical evidence of that encounter?
Why me?
Mr. President, we have Vernon Jordan's sworn testimony on the record. Will you please tell us what you said to him on the morning he took Ms. Lewinsky for the job interview at Revlon?
Ghetto superstar, that is what you are.
Now, when you informed Mr. Jordan of the incident with Ms. Lewinsky, what was his reaction?
Dad, a bitch.
Why did you feel it necessary to involve Mr. Jordan? Mr. President, I don't think we have any further questions. Do you have any final remarks you'd like to make on this matter? Let the record show that we have a full admission by the President. May I just add, sir, that you only have yourself to blame. Unless, of course, you can tell me there's someone else who contributed to your present situation.
Imus in the morning.
You know. Yo, Bernie.
Yo, Bernie.
Hello, Bernie. Black Dog 1 to Bernie.
Black Dog 2.
Black Dog 1 to Black Dog 2. Hello, Bernie.
I-Man.
Bernie is the I-Man.
Hey, I-Man, what's shaking with your bacon?
Let me ask you something, baby.
We're standing outside the federal courthouse where the Ken Starr grand jury has been meeting, and so far no sign of toe-sucking sleazebag Dick Morris. However, we are talking to a nice young lady here. What's your name?
Julie?
Julie, are you wearing those open-toed sandals in anticipation of Dick Morris's arrival?
Didn't really think about it that way.
Where are you from, Julie?
From Boston?
And what are you doing down here?
We're just visiting, passing through.
You're not a fugitive from justice, are you?
Not last time I checked, but if I was, I wouldn't tell you.
Did you see the speech last night?
I saw parts of it, yeah, most of it.
Do you think he apologized sufficiently?
I don't think he addressed the real issue, which was whether he lied or not. I don't care if he slept with the woman. We all knew he slept with her, but he wasn't very sincere. But, I mean, I think it was maybe enough to move on and get on with running the country.
Amen.
So we need more.
Well, I don't think we need more about who he slept with. I think we know more about, you know, what he really told and what he really knew and whether he lied or not.
So in other words, it's not over yet. We have more to find out.
About the perjury issue, yeah, not about the Lewinsky issue. I think if he slept with her, who cares? But about the perjury issue, yeah, I think we haven't found out what the real issue is, which is whether he lied or not when he testified originally.
What do you think of Mike Barnacle?
Oh, I think Mike Barnacle needs to lose his job, sadly enough. I think that...
Oh, snap.
Well, I mean, if they're going to fire, you know, the other woman, because she did kind of around the same thing, and plus, you jeopardize the whole integrity of the profession. You can't go, you know, making up stories or stealing other people's work. You know, no matter how good you are at your job and how much people like you.
It never stopped the I-Man.
Well, maybe not. Well, you know, but he also didn't claim it's truth. I mean, if you claim it's your own, then it's another thing. If you claim it's somebody else's, then, you know, you can get away with it.
You think Imus should be fired?
No. And plus, I'm on his show. I wouldn't say she should be fired.
Is this your daughter?
No, it's my little sister.
Would you let her work in the White House for Bill Clinton?
No, not in my lifetime.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't want it.
Why not?
I don't know.
I think we
He's a
pretty
dirty
much
old, he's a dirty old bastard, right?
I
the
guess.
possibilities of these two people. Bernard, thank you very much for a very fine report. Bernard McGirt live in Washington, D.C. with two people who pretty much run their course of any potential for getting any yucks out of them. So
Exhausted the Eye Man's patience.
you know what's really most extraordinary, or one of the more extraordinary things about all of this, is that all of the grand jurors didn't show up yesterday.
I know. Isn't that weird?
There's 23 of them, right?
Yep.
18 of them showed up.
Yep.
Now what? Well,
I don't know. For the man. The president.
I mean, do you understand?
Hello?
I mean, they all show up to listen to, Dick, Sidney Blumenthal, who knew nothing. I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. For the president.
All right, 20 minutes to leave.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people.
Tell your mama, tell your pa, gonna see him right now. This song, no. Mama, you don't do right. Imus in the morning.
You know, running a dude ranch is a hoot.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Don. How you doing?
Come on, baby.
Hey, I can't believe the country's not outraged at this guy.
Well, I think the war's out.
Well, I mean, how did this thing with Monica start? Did he come on to her the same way he came on to Paula Jones, and she just said, okay? Where Paula took him to court?
I think it started during the government shutdown in 95, there in November of 95, wasn't it, Charles?
Yep.
With a pizza delivery. I think she brought in a slice of pizza. And
Did he?
Hello, babe.
I mean, did he come up to her, pull down his pants?
Well, I don't know. I think we need to go that far. Do you, Steve?
Well, Paula Jones just said no to him. Maybe she said yes. And then it went on for 18 months.
Well, it was a lapse in judgment, and it did last a year and a half. Here's Don from Washington, D.C. on line 2. Good morning, Don.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right.
Well, I was kind of wondering what you might think of the possibility that the continued trashing of Starr is a strategy that will allow the Clinton administration to stonewall until either November, when they hope that the Democrats take over Congress, or failing that, next March, when the independent counsel statute comes up for reauthorization in Congress, and then they hope that everyone is so sick of independent counsels that Congress won't reauthorize it, then a special prosecutor won't be appointed to look into the campaign finance mess in 1996, which both Clinton and Gore are a real problem with.
Clearly, you have thought this through, Don.
Absolutely.
A lot more than we have. I think had it not been for the dress, it'd still be, and a couple of other things that we don't know about yet.
Wouldn't be.
Because, I thought it was extraordinary last night I was talking to Michael Beschloss, the historian, earlier this morning, and it occurred to me that the president took this opportunity, when he should have used it for just a heartfelt apology, to attack Ken Starr, which, I mean, it's fine if Carver wants to do it, which suggests to me that they're concerned that the independent counsel has some evidence of perjury and obstruction of justice, and so they'd like to try to rally the country behind him. But Ken Starr, I don't think at this point is going to respond to public opinion with an approval rating somewhere below Saddam Hussein. So. All right, Don, thanks.
And now, Imus in the morning, 2020 Sports with Mark Breen. Go, baby.
The duo swung on and hit high in the air to deep center. That ball is high, net is far, it is.
We don't know what happened now. Did it go out?
I don't know.
Don't you want to know?
No.
Oh, come on.
Not if we have
How could you blow up Vince Scully?
You have to listen to him.
No.
How could you blow up Vince Scully?
That was not Vince Scully.
Yeah, it was.
Please.
Yanks crushed the Royals in Kansas City 7-1. Another lopsided affair. So manager Joe Torre left the dugout for half inning, got to watch the president's speech, and was asked his thoughts.
He does a lot of good things, and his body language right now is really good.
So Torre gives the thumbs up for Clinton's performance. Thumbs up for the Yanks as well. They're 91-30. In Philly, Phils beat Randy Johnson and the Astros. The big unit sounding like the president after suffering his first NL loss.
I made some mistakes. I learned from them, and, the sun will come up tomorrow.
There you go. Randy Johnson already feeling the pressure of being the man in Houston.
Everybody's thinking that I walk on water.
I don't think he walks on water. I think he looks like Fred. He didn't walk on water. Meanwhile, from boxing, Mike Tyson hoping to get his license back in the state of Nevada The hearing not until next month. But Tyson yesterday pleaded his case to reporters, asking that they let him put the ear-biting incident behind him.
Now it is time, in fact, it is past time to move on.
Tyson sounding remorseful and hoping to get that behind him and, God, get back in the ring once again. And finally, a sad note, one of the truly great sports writers of all time has died, the legendary Jim Murray, passing away on Sunday, one of just 4 sports writers to win a Pulitzer. He's in the Baseball Hall of Fame. As kind as he was talented, the great Jim Murray dies at 78 years old.
One of his great lines, he wrote for the Los Angeles Times, as Breen just mentioned, but one of his great lines was he described the USC 4x100 track team as making other relay teams look like 4 fat guys chasing a bus. One of the most self-absorbed, annoying, disgraceful eulogies was delivered by Keith Olbermann last night on the Big Show, in which he talked about his admiration for Jim Murray, and it wound up being about Keith Olbermann. And how the worst. And how, I mean, and you know that Keith doesn't understand this, and he's just so self-absorbed and amateurish that it's cringe time. I was talking about Jim Murray. Then he talks about the time he met Murray at some banquet, and Murray came up and introduced himself and Keith was saying he told me how much he liked my writing, and then, oh God Almighty, it was painful.
Yeah.
Keith Olbermann, I mean, God Almighty.
Yeah.
In fact, Lou or Mark, somebody remind me to get that tape because MSNBC's got it, and we'll run that.
Yeah, good.
We can run that tomorrow.
Sure.
Get that tape. Get the Jim Murray, Keith Olbermann tape. In fact, have the folks from MSNBC get it. Because he deserves to be exposed.
Okay.
God,
and will be right here.
God.
All right.
Well, anyway, so we Charles, and should have heard Charles last night screaming at me.
I wasn't screaming. I was screaming for something that was glaringly absent from that speech, and you know what it was, and you agree.
It was really, well, absolutely. But I mean, once he reached the point where he was actually going to have to acknowledge this affair, I thought that I was shocked at the tone and the tact he took. I mean, shocked.
Of the speech.
Yeah.
I was too. Very disappointed. Where was the apology?
Where was the remorse?
Where was the contrition at all? I mean,
any of that?
No. It was a defiant, all right, let's go to war, or let's continue the war, the declared war, by the commander-in-chief.
But you know, I mean, he really, the initial polls are suggesting that most people feel about it as I do about it, that you're not going to get anything more out of him, that we don't need to know any more details about it. He clearly lied to us, humiliated his wife and his daughter, and himself and the country and the office. It's just time to move on.
Suffer through the next 2 years. And
is it 2 years or about a year and a half?
Yeah, a year and a half.
But I do think that there's going to be a backlash because that performance last night was disgraceful. That he was disgraceful. Beneath contempt.
Well, and a couple of people said don't put too much stock in these very early, quick, almost knee-jerk polls.
Why don't we do it in the... Right, 1998, CBS Radio. All rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment. That is all.
This concludes the entertainment and revenue-generating portion of your broadcast day. We now return you to the rest of your local programming schedule, an indecipherable embarrassment of broadcasting incompetence that compelled the station to subscribe to the Imus in the Morning program in the first place. The entertainment and revenue-generating portion of the broadcast day, the Imus in the Morning program, will resume tomorrow morning. Check your local listings for time and schedule.
WFAN New York. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning, 10 o'clock. This is John Minko.
Here's the one.
Patrol.
All right, here now on line 5 on the Imus Morning program. Apparently somebody from the White House staff at Della Montrose. Is that right, Bernie?
Yes.
Good morning, Miss Montrose.
Good morning. How you doing?
Oh, Al.
What?
I said, Al, you idiot. Get out. Here's Mark from Milwaukee.
He was giving a
line 6. Good morning, Mark.
Hi, man. It's me, biggest fan, the man who wants to be just like you. I live and breathe for you. I hang on you every word. You're my soul and inspiration. So naturally, I'm starting to feel a little bit of anxiety because I know on Friday you're leaving for the ranch, which means in 2 weeks it'll be the best of Imus, which is somewhat disconcerting because the world is so confusing. I really depend on you to tell me what to think because I can't always trust the dog to tell me because he'll only tell me to do something that'll make me feel dirty and unclean afterwards because after I do what he tells me to do, I usually end up having to dig a really big hole. So I was wondering if you wouldn't mind wearing a beeper so I could contact you when I get confused about what to think. I could beep you and then you could call me and ease my mind. I wouldn't abuse the privilege. I'd only call 60 or 70 times a day because I know you'll be busy with all that ranch business, but it would sure be a comfort to me because I don't know what else I'm going to do.
Mark? Hang on a second. I want to go back and talk to Della from the White House. Della?
Oh, you can't guess. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm still here.
I realize
Load up.
I realize I didn't give you much of a chance. Say hi to Mark, Della.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Della. How are you? You a big Imus fan? Oh, I'm the biggest fan he ever had. I'm the one who just like him. I live and breathe for him. I hang on his every word. He's my soul and inspiration. Why? I don't know. Well, I wish I could blow both of us up.
Imus in the morning. 2020 Sports. It'll be a 1-0. Borowski, deal. Swung on and popped him up. The game is going to be over. Knobloch behind first. Outfield grass. Makes a catch. Ball game over. Yankees win. Oh, Yankees win.
92 and 30.
Go away.
Good morning, Mike Breen with Sports. John Sterling, the call, WABC. This one took 13 innings. Yanks win again, beat the Royals in KC 3-2, 92 and 30. For the big game last night in Chicago with the Cubs and Cards, Sosa and McGuire, the two combined to go 0 for 9 with 6 strikeouts. And for the first time, Sammy seemed a little down.
I think myself, I was swinging so hard today. I'm probably trying to I'm a little bit out of my zone today. I had to say that, and probably swing so hard today, and I forget to go to right field.
That's right. He actually forgot to go out to position in right field. Poor Sammy starting to feel a little bit of the pressure. But when someone asked him yesterday if he feels the pressure, he said pressure is being a shoeshine boy in the Dominican Republic, something Sammy was before he made it to the major leagues. Mets took a doubleheader from the Colorado Rockies, 6-2 and 6-3. Al Leiter won the first game. It's amazing he was able to win it despite having to face the elements.
It was nasty out. You know, it was raining off and on. Your shoes had cleat, the dirt in it, so it's not a comfortable day, really. And then the 5 o'clock start was a little strange.
Rain, mud on his shoe, 5 o'clock start. No one should be subjected to that.
Wow.
No one. But Leiter still won his 12th of the season. And you have to play in the NFL. You have to be tough, not just because of your opponent, because of your teammates as well. Redskin offensive lineman Sharp Portage and defensive lineman Jamal Duff went out at a practice yesterday. Duff got shoved to the ground. Portage put his hands around his neck, and when there he was, choking him. Disgraceful, and that's his teammate. They fought later in the locker room as well. Just another training camp story.
Jeez.
NFL season weeks away.
Hi, Imus in the morning. This is WFAN in New York. It's time for the local news. And here with all that, this is Charles McCoy. Good morning, Charlie.
Morning, I-Man. And some of the local developments, City Police Detective Stephen McCoy.
Be done. And I'm here today to congratulate President William Jefferson Clinton on a brilliant speech, the State of his Organ Address. From the 37th president to the 42nd, congratulations, Bubber. Oh, if only I had handled things similarly back there during my own travail. Of course, I didn't have the advantage of the lens of history that Bubber did. I mean, the bastard went to school on me. Genius stuff. You go before the electorate when cornered like a venal, fang-bared rat and toss off a few lines of some flip-flop jibe significant of nothing except total responsibility while simultaneously blaming everybody, apologize to nobody, and head for Martha's Vineyard to watch your approval rating go to 100%. Now then, I don't know what struck you as most brilliant, Donna, but I was most moved by Bubber's assertion that when he testified about sex in his Paula Jones deposition, oh, and I love this, my answers, he said, were legally accurate. Does that make you want to weep or what? Legally accurate, because the court rules that while Moniker was having sex with him by, how to put this, lingually making his lizard leap. How's that? Stupid. Thank you. Anyway, by doing that, she was having sex with him, but he wasn't having sex with her. even though, as she knelt there reverently in front of him, it was his probing protuberance that was lodged in her dental den.
She was blowing him.
Couldn't have put it better myself. But it was court approved, he told us. Is that perfect or what? Now, he did say it might have been a little old 18-month lapse in judgment. But that's nothing to condemn the man for. I mean, my God, he had an 18-month lapse. I had that 18-minute gap in the Rosemary Woods tape, remember?
Sure.
And there are other parallels, J.D. Jesse Jackson came by the White House to pray with him. Well, I got Henry Kissinger there in the Oval Office, both of us praying like we were Jimmy Swaggart with Mike Wallace knocking on the door. And there is a matter that troubles me. The point Bubber made in justifying 7 months of lying through his teeth by saying he wanted to protect his family. That wasn't one of those celebrity lookalikes on the Today Show with Matt Lauer then, was it? That was the First Lady, right? How do you say you wanted to protect your family then when you march your wife out to face the firing squad to cover the fact you're back in the White House getting skull from some dizzy pom-pom chick you dragged off a rope line? Jesus. Oh, I conclude with a joke stolen from Scripps Howard, who got it from the guy Barnacle knows. Dan Quayle, Newt Gingrich, and Bubber get swept away in a Kansas tornado, okay? They wind up in the land of Oz. Now, Quayle says, great, I'm going to ask the wizard for a brain. Newt says, great, I'm going to ask the wizard for a heart. And Clinton goes, great, where's Dorothy? Ouch! And there you have the stained view through the Dick Scope today, Dude. Dick, Scope, and Stain, property of Dick Nixon, another disgraced president of the United States.
Senator John Ashcroft was here earlier this morning, last hour, and we have this album that they made, Trent Lott, Senator John Ashcroft, Larry Craig, and Senator Jim Jeffords, the 4 singing senators. And it's, anyway, 5 till the hour.
Hello, darling. Nice to see you. It's been a long time. You're just as lovely as you used to be. Imus in the morning. Hallelujah, if you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long-lost pal. I can call you Betty, Betty, when you call me out, call me. Imus in the morning. Don't crash.
Morning, Howard.
Yeah, how you doing, Howard?
I don't think yesterday was a great day to have your big press conference about your TV show, do you?
Well, I really wasn't thinking, I guess.
No.
Listen, could you play more of that Singing Senators album? I think you still have 6 or 8 listeners left. It's really comforting to know we're paying these morons to help run our country, and they're in a studio making the old fart version of the White Album. So you ready for the ultimate irony? Clinton's speech the other night preempted the Miss Teen USA pageant. But I'm sure he'll be watching the tape tonight up there in Martha's Vineyard. It's like his home shopping network. Oh, Miss Alabama, she's hot. I'll take one of those. You heard the latest from Matt Drudge?
No.
The president wore one of Lewinsky's ties Monday night during the speech.
Oh, I did hear that, yeah.
I'm starting to think that what he got from Monica in that study off the Oval Office is nothing compared to the hand job he tried to give us the other night. But he did give me an idea, though. Saturday night when I debut the TV show, I'm wearing a blue dress with a semen stain.
That'll be great.
Penis. More singing senators. Good golly, Miss Molly. Did they cover that one? That's really hot.
No, they didn't.
Phil Spector's quaking in his boots.
Howard Stern here in the Imus Morning program. The Howard Stern radio show debuts on CBS. Is it this Saturday night?
I think it is.
Okay. At 11:30 Eastern Time.
Yeah.
On all your local CBS station. Most of them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, most of the country.
And it's going to be, I guess, I would have no intimate knowledge of this, but the reports that I get are that it's going to be similar to the show that he does on E, which I have not seen. But I understand it's his radio program. It's called the Howard Stern Radio Show. That's going to be on CBS.
Oh, okay.
But
let's check it out.
I would say this: if you like him, you're not listening to this. But even if you are listening to me and you still do like him, I can't imagine that it won't be better than Saturday Night Live. No matter what they do, I can't imagine. Can you?
Past wind for an hour.
Exactly. Put a camera on those trees blowing.
I mean, just spank a couple lesbians and say penis and get somebody to take their top off and make rude comments. So it's got to be better.
Jerry Springer.
You're a hit.
I mean, it may not be what you and I want to watch, but then again, it might be. So, but it would be great if this could be a hit. It would be great.
Well, we need it to happen.
So, I know you know, as long as, I mean, he's you know, he's just, I think you got to, you know, Howard Stern would be a more moral president, by the way, than the one we have.
There's no question.
I guarantee you, Howard Stern is not getting any BJs from his interns.
No, yeah, absolutely is.
So
not.
you mean, well, you may not like him or whatever, but
believe me.
So I mean, that really is the state of the nation.
Howard Stern for president.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Howard has a higher moral ethic.
Absolutely.
Than the guy who actually is the president.
Why don't we do it in the road? In the morning.
Here's some terrific news from Pearl. Well, I told Charles that I got up this morning and I was depressed is not the right word, but I
a little of the old ennui, I believe. A little.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I don't know. I don't mean to make too much, huh?
Dispirited, I mean.
That's a better word. But that is. I mean, just over this. I don't mean to make too much of it, and I don't think we have an agenda on this program. Well, we don't have. But I don't know how this guy doesn't just resign. I mean, and I voted for him, but I mean, I just don't get. I don't get it.
I can give you a one-word reason why he should. Felony.
But just even if it's not that, I mean, I hear what you're saying. But even if it's not that, I mean, it's a 50-year-old. It's a forget how old he is. Leave age out of it. There's two government employees. One of them's the president of the United States in the Oval Office in a little room there, having sex with an intern. I mean, come on.
It's incredible. He should go.
What are you doing?
By the way, his nickname for Monica Lewinsky is Linda Ronstadt. Flew by you.
What do you do in Chicago?
I'm a manufacturer's representative.
And you represent somebody who manufactures what?
Industrial supplies, machine tool accessories, things like that.
Send us a box of it.
Certainly.
Here's Jerry from Okeechobee, Florida. Good morning, Jerry.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, listen, I'm trying to get hold of myself. Laura Ingraham in that white top, talking about oral sex and lesbians. I tell you, it's too much. She's going to replace Claire Seaman as my preferred pinup poster press person.
It's not Claire Seaman, moron face.
Shipman, I'm sorry.
Claire Shipman.
I misspoke.
Yes, you did.
I'm coming around on that Chip Reed thing, too. You're right. I've seen him with Bernard. He's quite a hunk. I tell you, it's like phone sex with video.
So you're hot for Laura Ingraham, Claire Shipman, and Chip Reed.
Well, I'm telling you, watching the show, you guys don't. It's a free ticket. If Laura had taken that sweater off this morning, I'm sure she had just a tank top underneath there.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Well,
you know.
Do you think I was out of line with her, rude to her? Or?
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, you did? Well, I didn't mean to be. I actually like her. So.
I do too. She's my new pinup girl. You know, Chip Reed could, if he keeps going, he could become Jack Ford.
He is. That's a cute guy, Chip Reed. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Yeah. That's a cute guy. So.
You know, they got a new show on about Okeechobee, Maximum Bob. I'm sure you haven't seen it.
Isn't that an Elmore Leonard character?
Oh, he's talking over my head now.
You know who Elmore Leonard is?
No.
Isn't it a Bugs Bunny cartoon?
I don't read any books.
Clearly.
I make sure I don't read any books. But Maximum Bob, the people in Okeechobee are mad about it.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, because they're portraying us as a bunch of hillbillies that don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's right on the money. And our paper's full of it. There's in the opinion column, everybody here is mad, and you couldn't get more accurate. I mean, you couldn't get more accurate. You got to check it out sometime. It probably only lasts about 3 shows.
Here is Leslie now from, where are you from in Arkansas, Leslie?
Eudora.
Eudora?
Yes.
Where's that, Charles?
Eudora.
We don't know. Where is it?
Very southeast corner.
Oh, okay.
4 miles from Louisiana and just across the river from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, baby?
A lot. I have a whole lot to say. I mean, and don't blow me up, please. Okay. First of all, well, I'm the female Mark from Milwaukee. You can ask Bernie. But, okay, this is a moral issue. Laura was right about everything. The guy never served in the Army. Have you seen Saving Private Ryan?
No, I have not.
You must. And then tell me this guy deserves to be president. I'm sorry.
I don't need to see Private Ryan. I was in the Marine Corps.
Oh, yes, I heard that. I watch you all the time. I mean, you're my new Regis and Kathy Lee, all right? And everybody on the show.
What, Charles?
Ma'am, he was in the Marine Corps tooting a bugle.
Oh, man, he can play an instrument. Okay, well. But the few, the proud.
I would have been happy to go ashore on some foreign island had I been asked. I wasn't asked. I was asked to play the bugle.
Yeah.
Why didn't you volunteer?
I did. I was in the Marine Corps. What was I supposed to do?
Go to Fiji. You know where that is?
Well, I wasn't. When I was in, there wasn't any war.
Well, great. Okay. Well, anyway.
It was after Korea and slightly before Vietnam. So.
Okay. Speaking of Korea, my daddy was in there since he was 20. He was born in 26.
What do you do down there, Eudora, Arkansas?
What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hate that you asked that question.
Oh, come on, baby. Tell her I'm in.
I just sit around and watch MSNBC all day.
You do?
If I'm able. Unless I have to leave to go do this or that.
Do you have blocks on the wheels of your trailer?
Oh, my God. Yes, I do, but I'm going to buy it one day, and I'm going to love it, and you'll have to come.
Well, no.
Clean it up.
Come on, baby. Clean up your language.
I'm a righteous woman.
Well.
I know what I'm talking about. My daddy was in Korea, Vietnam, all those things. And he died of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma from Vietnam. And Clinton dodged the draft. He can't even smoke pot right. I mean, for crying out loud, you know?
Try to keep it together here, baby. Try to keep it together.
I will. I will. Because thank you for listening to not blowing me up.
All right.
Because you know I'm right.
Yeah,
Charles,
33 after the hour here on the Imus Morning program as we
speak to Eudora, Arkansas.
We'll talk to you. We'll talk to her again some other time.
Okay.
Not right now.
Imus in the morning.
All right, no matter how high the temperature climbs, or how sticky the humidity, Gil, nothing will be hotter this summer than the deals you'll get during Jeep summer days now in your Jeep dealer. Where you can get a 36-month Grand Cherokee Laredo lease, no money down, $319 a month, just $814 due at sign.
Stupid. More after this.
Well, I ain't no friend of Hillary's. She ain't no friend of mine. Her husband is another who can't kiss my behind. But we're stuck with both those Clintons, and time keeps dragging on. Let white water keep on rolling, just like a rolling stone. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, don't ever be a liberal. They're all such simpletons, like to shoot that Janet Reno just to watch her die. And when I think about the cabinet, I hang my head and cry. Lloyd Benson don't remember if he was ever briefed by Gene Hansen or Josh Steiner. That nerdy Treasury chief, Roger Altman, says he never knew about the RTC. Though Margaret Williams supposedly told him it would paralyze Hillary. If they freed me from the Clintons, if this country were all mine, if these damn white water hearings turned out not to be benign, I'll send those Clintons both to prison, and there they'll have to stay. Think I know now why Vince Foster, he blew himself away. Clinton.
Your old Rush Limbaugh back here on the Imus in the Morning program.
Yeah.
Remember when old Johnny used to say, "Good night, Bill Walker"? Remember that?
Yes, sir, I sure do. Yes, sir, I am. You bet.
Well, so what happens now, Chuck? What happens?
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what Monica has to say. Coming up Thursday.
I guess it turns out the girl was telling the truth, doesn't it?
It sure does. Look that way, man.
That's, I'll be darned.
A lot of folks are betrayed. A lot of folks are embarrassed.
I guess the big news, front page of the New York Times this morning, that Bill Clinton on August 6th,
yep,
on the day that she testified, wore a tie that Monica Lewinsky gave him.
Interesting to prosecutors in the office of Kenneth Starr, whether or not it was an attempt to obstruct justice by sending some sort of a signal to say, hang in there when you testify now, Monica.
But
stay on the team.
Here's what's preposterous about that, is that she had already reached an agreement with the independent counsel about what she was going to testify to. So,
it's either that or he's a psycho. It's one of those two things.
It wasn't that he was sending her because they should have worn it when she made the deal then. So they already knew what she was going to testify to. So that couldn't have been it. But there was some reason you would think he would remember that. Well, of course he would remember, wouldn't he? Well, sure he would. Where he got the tie, I mean, he's probably got several hundred ties, but still.
He's unstable.
Apparently, I mean, who can say?
Well, I mean, if you just think about it,
stuff up.
If you just think about it for a second, if he was trying to send a signal, it's idiotic because she'd already made her deal. So we knew what she was going to testify to. So she wasn't going to change her story at that point because she saw him wearing the tie. So he wore it for some other reason.
The other option is that he cares for her, in which case he would have admitted to whatever happened and spared her the agony of having to testify about what she did with him.
So it could be some sort of cosmic irony that he...
Could be.
Some weird coincidence, but
it wasn't.
That is unlikely. That's weird.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people.
Tell your mama, tell your pa, gonna say it right now. I just said no. Mama said don't do right. Imus in the morning.
Retail sales figures based on RL Puck registrations from $197 to $1297. Down payment may vary, not valid with any other special financing offer. Retailer participation may affect actual price. Higher rate for longer term or lower credit. Customer cash from Nissan Motor Corporation when you purchase any new 98 Nissan from a participating retailer. Not available on most leases. See retailer for details.
Copyright 1998, CBS Radio. All rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment. Okey doke.
This concludes the entertainment and revenue-generating portion of your broadcast day. We now return you to the rest of your local programming schedule, an indecipherable embarrassment of broadcasting incompetence that compelled the station to subscribe to the Imus in the Morning program in the first place. The entertainment and revenue-generating portion of the broadcast day, the Imus in the Morning program, will resume tomorrow morning. Check your local listings for time and schedule.
WFAN New York. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning, 10 o'clock. This is John Minko. It's just one of those things. I think themselves a good double-headed sweep, and they will try to make it go at it again tonight. As far as the Yankees, they go for number 93 tonight with Andy Pettit on a hill. Anyway, that's a wrap on today. Our thanks to the boys across the way, Fast Eddie, Dalvining Dove, Minko with the updates, and as always, you the fans. Till next time, Sweater and the Birdies, Salzburg and Eagle saying bye-bye, so long, and farewell.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
Here's Howard Stern. Good morning, Howard.
Yeah, hey, Louis Howard. So let me get this straight. President goes on the air and acknowledges to God and everybody he got a BJ from a 21-year-old intern, then has to go away on vacation the next day with his wife and daughter. Boy, he really knows how to relax, huh?
Well,
man, you think it was tense yesterday in the map room. Just wait till he and Hill go to take that walk on the beach for the cameras up at the vineyard. What I wouldn't give for a shotgun boom microphone for that one. Beautiful day, isn't it, Hillary? Is that the kind of thing she said to you, little whore?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Hey, let me ask you something, Imus. He said something about the legal definition of the situation.
Yeah.
How many different definitions are there for a Hummer? He gave her a T-shirt, she gave him a BJ, end of story. I tell you what, I saw Orrin Hatch give his little hissy fit with Tom Brokaw right after the speech.
Yeah.
You know, considering he's supposed to be so outraged by the president's behavior, in light of the situation, I wouldn't be using phrases like, I'm about to blow my stack.
Imus in the morning on the fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon at 1 o'clock. This is John Minko. Sunny, and that's what's happening. This is John Minko with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Mets baseball.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66, WFAN. They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's Mike and the Mad Dog on the fan. Nothing can get by 'em. Turn it on and try 'em. Mike and the Mad Dog, WFAN.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? The Mike and the Mad Dog radio program for a Wednesday in New York, the 19th day of August, 1998. Good to have you aboard today. Lots to do with Joe and Chin, Chris calling at 718-937-6666. I speak to the Yankee manager today. Move up in the afternoon. He's in Minnesota, of course, to do Joe Torre. And good afternoon there, Michael. How are you?
I'm fine. Beautiful day. No humidity.
This is an example of what is wrong with American politics. We set up things, we scream at each other, and you're a phony, and you're dishonest, and you misrepresented yourself. Now look, I'm trying to answer your question, and I will if you will shut up.
Tell your mama, tell your pa, gonna see you right now. I just said no. Mama said don't do right. Imus in the morning.
Well, here's PC Motors.
I don't know. The president's wife doesn't have a bullet in her head.
Imus in the morning.
That's love.
2020 Sports.
The runners go. The 3-2. Swung on and missed. He struck out the side with the bases loaded. Oh, what a job by Tremblay. The Yankees strand 3.
A courageous stand against the Bronx Bombers.
What's the matter, Lou?
One night only, Don Imus. But seriously, Paul, this...
I'm telling you for the last time.
Tell us some more, man.
Hey, take care of your bartenders. They work hard back there.
Good morning, Mike Breen with Sports. Michael K. Nicole, WABC. This sportscast sponsored by Subaru. His name is Mike Tremblay, 31 years old, a right-hander from Springfield, Mass. And there he was last night, 7th inning, bases loaded, no outs against the big bad Yankees, the heart of their lineup, to face 3 of the toughest hitters in the game, standing just 60 feet away, naked with the ball in his hands.
What?
And Tremblay simply mowed them down. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. A bold performance. He went for the jugular. And what was Tremblay's reaction to this amazing feat?
It was just, old fun at the old ball park.
A humble guy, but a strong performance from Mike Tremblay. Fireworks in Chicago yesterday. Mark McGwire hits 2, Sammy Sosa 1, and the Cards' 10-inning win over the Cubs. And maybe, just maybe, McGwire is starting to get it. After hitting numbers 48 and 49, McGwire was unusually upbeat. He was asked about all the attention he's getting.
Dealing with this many media, I don't wish it upon anybody, but I understand it,
There you go.
All right.
Maybe a turnaround for Big Mark. And he comes to New York now and be under the glare of the Big Apple when the Cardinals and the Mets have a couple of doubleheaders over the next couple of days.
Sad news for the New York Liberty. They lose to the Detroit Shock last night, 82-68.
Bushwhacked.
Eliminated.
We don't need that.
From postseason play.
Got bushwhacked by the... Yep. Sad day.
That really is. So the teams that make the playoff are the Houston Comets, the Charlotte Sting, the Phoenix Fuzz, and the Cleveland Rockers. That's sports. I'm Mike Brand.
There's Steve Vernon Mason now.
The Boston Beavers.
The what?
The Boston Beavers?
Yeah. Oh, that's really clever. Good morning, C.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And a fine morning to be, too, Imus.
Yes.
Well, now, where to begin today? Where to begin? I suppose we should be starting with the big story of the day, and you know what that is, right?
Well, yes, but what do you think it is?
The Million Youth March right here in New York City. This here march ain't to be confused with the Million Youth March down there in Atlanta. That'd be the road company. The main show be here in New York. Now, you know there'd be some folk who say that 1 million African-American young men marching to Manhattan be redundant. But I disagrees. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening, C.
We're here.
We're with you.
Oh, okay. That's you and me, Imus.
Yeah.
We got to show the white suppressive city government headed up by the head Nancy herself, Major Giuliani, that we ain't to be truffled with.
Yes.
It'd be time to once again stand up tall and proud and start making white folks nervous. And as you're aware, nothing make whitey more nervouser than a bunch of black men walking in the same direction. Besides, any march headed up by Khalil Abdul Muhammad guaranteed to make everybody's bullocks clench up.
Well,
I mean, even Louis Farrakhan think he'd be a flute cake. You know, the Reverend Al Sharpton gonna be there too.
Shut up. Al, get off the phone. No.
I'm begging you, let him go.
Be there, too.
Please let him go.
Yeah, hold it back there, isn't it?
Thomas?
Yes.
Let me get to the end of one of these.
Well, hurry up.
Okay. Reverend Al Sharpton gonna be there too, Amos. Of course, in his case, it'd be the Million Youth Waddle. You know, to Tubby Al, a march mean another sachet up to the buffet table.
Jimmy.
I've got to be going now, Amos.
Yeah.
I'll be working on a big case.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
It involves a member of your staff, Amos. Rob Bartlett.
Yeah.
Investors in his Broadway show want to know if he really need a new El Dorado to get back and forth to rehearsal.
It's 5 till the top of the hour, and that's C. Vernon Mason here on the... Yeah, there.
It's horrible. For God's sake.
Y'all could get Sapphire in here now.
So today, whether you like it or not, God brought the idea through me. He didn't bring it through me because my heart was dark with hatred and anti-Semitism. He didn't bring it through me because my heart was dark and I'm filled with hatred for white people and for the human family of the planet. If my heart were that dark, how is the message so bright, the message so clear, the response so magnificent?
Imus in the morning.
All right, babies. Let the eye man tell you about that Fuji film now, but I
bet others in their late 50s don't think of the same thing.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Okay. Get rid of brain. Get rid of bald-headed Nazi. Just leaves you and Rob.
Somebody's got to push the wheelchair, though.
Man, you got a death wish, don't you?
Yeah, yours.
Yeah, mine. That's right.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Your friends at Ace.
No. Joseph
Boner knows a bood. Is here. We'll talk to him coming up.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports. Let's go to the audio tape.
Man, they just don't want to give him that pitch that he can take out of the ballpark. And I wouldn't be surprised right here, 2-0, if Mulholland doesn't go right back inside.
That ball hit way back. That's gone. That ball was hit to dead center field.
Sammy and Big Mac go mano a mano. Good morning, Mike Breen with sports. Ron Santo, the call, WGN Chicago. The sportscast sponsored by Hackensack University Medical Center. Cards beat the Cubs in 10. McGuire hit 2 homers. He has 49. Soso hit 1. He has 48. What's the matter? Meanwhile, the Cardinals win the game in extra innings. What's the matter? What did I say wrong?
No, nothing. That's fine.
Nothing.
No, another thing. I'm
Go
sure.
press on.
Press on. I'm sure it's fine.
Mike Breen continues.
But the best news, McGuire is starting to loosen up a bit. Yes, he hit 2,
Well,
and the Cards won.
Well,
just stop.
But maybe he really is starting to get it. I beg your pardon?
Nothing. Go right ahead.
Go right ahead.
What are you doing with the mic, Boner Nose? Don't put the mic down.
Stop licking it.
By the way, with all your money, I mean, it's time to go over and visit Paula's guy and Park Avenue and get that schnoz fixed. I mean, come on.
I'm very proud of it.
You can sell ads on that thing.
You know, can you stop?
Go ahead, Breen.
God almighty.
Yes, he hit 2, and yes, the Cards won, but maybe McGuire's starting to get it. He was asked how he approaches each day now.
All I can do is have fun every day and play the game.
Wow.
There you go.
Much
All
better
right.
attitude.
Absolutely. Even talked about his home run rival, Mr. Sosa, and McGuire spoke lovingly of Sammy.
He's having just a fabulous year. I mean, it's even though I'm on the other side and we're playing against them, and I want to see our team win. It's awesome to see that kind of talent and the way he goes about his business. He's quite a player.
Beat me. Joseph Aboud will be honored October 29th at the Plaza for, why?
Why? That's a good question. I'm thrilled to be a part of it, but because of the CJ Foundation, and to be honored is really great. I don't really think I deserve it, but if it's a
Clearly
chance,
you don't.
Well, I think it's also I think it's a great chance for us to raise some more money for the CJ Foundation, and also some of the proceeds are going to go to the ranch. I think you know that. Isn't that kind of exciting?
Well, it depends on you.
It depends on how much money we raise.
Gay men's health crisis?
I think half's going to the CJ and half's going to the ranch. I think
Right.
the city
All
ranch.
right. Well, it should be a great event. We're excited about it. We're going to do a fashion show.
Oh, gee, that's just great. They honor him, Joe, because the checks he contributed to both the ranch and the CJ Foundation for Citizen of Tomorrow's Children's Fund didn't bounce.
They cleared.
Yeah.
And you made sure I wrote my check early and often.
7 minutes till the hour. What else, Mike? Jets and Giants tonight?
Jets and Giants tonight.
Okay. Is that on DirecTV or national game? We don't know.
It'll be on DirecTV. You'll find it somewhere.
Okay.
It's here locally in New York.
No idea, do you?
I do. I just told you the answer.
Any other games tonight? Or is this...
That's the only game tonight.
It could be on ESPN, couldn't it? Or
No.
No.
Local TV here.
I'll say I don't.
Listen to it on the radio as well.
I'll be darned.
Or you can go to the game yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps a fan will pelt you with a snowball.
6 minutes till the hour here on the Imus Morning program. Is a program really? We get Fred back on the phone yet?
Negative. That'll turn it around.
Yeah, get Fred. Oh, we dissing my brother now, huh? Get Fred back on the phone. We'll talk to him.